From attacks by gunmen to arbitrary arrests, the situation in Imo State can be likened to the bird sitting on a rope. There can be no comfort for the bird and the rope. The insecurity in the state has pitched the governor against some chieftains, culminating in the mentioning of the names of former hemsmen Rochas Okorocha and governorship candidates of the Action Alliance, AA, Uche Nwosu, as the sponsors of kidnapping and banditry in the states. But Nwosu has denied that claim. TKB, the action that was taken by the Nigerian police did not allow us to see the merits of what they actually went to do or how it can be substantiated.
Yeah.
Now we see a state that's a party divided against itself. We see a state that I listened to Governor Hope Uzodimma. He's saying my bone of contention, I have former governors, but the problem there is my immediate predecessor.
Yeah.
He's still holding on to the levels of power. He doesn't know that, look, his time has gone, that this is my own time. I'm even older than him. And I listened to that soundbite all over and over again. I said, what? Something is wrong with this state. We're talking about intra-party crisis within the All Progressive Congress in Imo State.
Well, Imo State has taken over the drama we used to enjoy from Kogi State in the recent past. And I'm not very happy because some of the best brains that Nigeria has produced right now are from that state. And they are going through these shenanigans with a governor who seems intent on shaming his constituencies with his incoherence, or a former governor who refused to realize that just like his statues, power has left him behind. I wish they could work together for the progress of Imo State. Imo State is a state that can be the very best in this country if they are allowed to work. But they've been unlucky with the governors they had in the last 2-3 dispensations, who seem more intent on just ruling than providing dividends of democracy. Uzodimma, of course, has the right to say what he says, but he's the governor, he's the chief security officer. Telling me that Mr. A and Mr. B is in charge does not tell me anything. Show me proof, show me the people that are going to be arrested. Put this thing, start a, what do you call it now? Something of inquiry. And let it be there. Put it on television. Let the witnesses who are there, let them come forward, accuse these people publicly, or let the police do their job. I'm tired of this grandstanding in front of cameras that nothing will happen. We've had this before, and I can guarantee you we'll hear it again. But so far the problem persists. People are still dying in Imo State. Things are not working in Imo State, and it's unfortunate.
In Southeast now is about the hottest states in terms of insecurity, in terms of instability, in terms of everything negative. When you want to talk about activities of even some people hide under the activities of ESN. You know, to even operate the brutality around the Imo State is something that is unimaginable. Emeka?
You see, I just want to have a word of advice for Governor Hope Uzodimma. He should take it easy. Generally in the Southeast, people are disappointed at his abrasive attitude. He's so abrasive, he's so combative. You are the governor of the state. There can be two governors in one state. You don't have to use force as if you must kill every fly with a hammer. You must also adopt conciliation, adopt dialogue. Don't make it look as if, I'm the governor, all right, and like it is a position that some people want to take from you by force. You are the governor. If you govern the people well, you will enjoy their support. But you see, unleashing the military, police, security forces on the people, like the shameful episode that happened in the church the other day, is really, really unacceptable. You cannot run a state properly like that. His media team will come out to make all kinds of justifications, very ridiculous. But they don't know it is their own people whose lives are being negatively affected by all these things. There are problems all over. There are problems all over the country. There are political intrigues, there are political, feuds here and there. But you see, some governors have been able to manage these tendencies in such a way that you don't find so much of all this showing. But when a governor believes he must fight everybody. Then I now ask a question. Rochas Okorocha, wasn't he one of the people who helped Hope Uzodimma to get to power? Why is he not suddenly pointing at Rochas Okorocha as if he's a stranger, somebody he doesn't know? He's calling him a former governor. If his son-in-law, Uche Nwosu, had not made certain moves that helped to strengthen Hope Uzodimma's Supreme Court case, his court case, would he have become governor? What is he talking about? We don't have short memories. Let's go down memory lane and look at how these things emerged, leading to the Supreme Court victory that put him there. Yes, he's not the only person who emerged as governor through a Supreme Court judgment. Yes, we concede that to him. But the fact of the matter is this: Hope Uzodimma should take it easy. He should come down from his high horse, because Imo State is suffering. The people of Imo State are suffering. The number of people that have been killed avoidably in the state. The unfortunate thing is that the security forces are not even really going after the criminals. You're just picking and killing innocent people on the streets and making life unbearable. You have checkpoints. Do you know there are checkpoints, military checkpoints, where they will keep people for hours, long queues? In some places, they will force people to come down from their vehicles and trek. That is dehumanization. And the governor sees all these things and he sees nothing wrong with it. He should ask himself a question. How long will this continue? It's just a matter of time. He will be out of there. And if he doesn't make that state run in a proper democratic setting, too bad for him.
And a lot of people are not too happy about the emergence of the governor, that's not through the ballot, through the Supreme Court, but people still expecting that, oh, it will turn the tide. But a lot of people will say, look, he might have been distracted since he got there. It has been one day, one trouble, that a lot of people, he has not been able to impact on the people, that even if you want to seek re-election, it's going to be extremely difficult.
Yes, he's going to have a battle in front of him. But you are quite correct. The fact that he came into the Supreme Court should not be an excuse. In fact, it should be a thing of power for him to now bring everybody together and become the godfather, as it were, of every Imolite. And lead, because no matter how you get in, there will be people who go against you.
Yeah.
So you don't get distracted. As you say in Ibadan, forget the noise of the markets. Concentrate on what you are coming to buy. Forget the noise. Because if you concentrate on the noise, you forget what you came to the market for. You came to the market to govern. Forget the distractions.
If you're still with us, we're still looking at the intra-party crisis within the All Progressive Congress in Imo State, and we've been watching that state since 1999, from the days of Governor Achike Udewa to Emeka Ihedioha to Rochas Okorocha. Ikedi spent one time that Ikedi to Rochas Okorocha. After Rochas Okorocha, a short sprint by former Deputy Speaker of the House of Representatives,
Emeka 7 months.
And 10 months, and coming to Hope Uzodimma. A lot of people will say that, look, that they've not been able to see the development witnessed during the days of Governor Sam Mbakwe in that state, that the state has not been working at optimal speed. So we have Uche Nwosu from our Abuja studio. Thank you for joining us. The former governorship candidate of the Action Alliance. Thank you for staying with us.
Thank you, Ayo, and your colleague in the studio. Happy New Year to you guys.
Happy New Year to you too. I saw you on that Sunday. At the point in time, somebody was recording from outside. At the point in time, I now saw you in the vehicle. You were wearing only your singlet. The arrest sparked a lot of outrage and a lot of reaction and everything that did not justify the reason for the arrests. But you were accused of being a sponsor of banditry, kidnapping across Imo State. If you want to be the governor of Imo State, can you reconcile this?
I think I've listened to you guys at the studio right there in Lagos, and you remember very well when Hope Uzodimma was sworn in as the governor of Imo State. Owele Rocha was at the Hero Square, and I visited him in Government House, and we gave all that we have to support him. But what we are talking about now is live, and what happened on the 26th was a sacrilege and an abomination. If the governor of Imo State, Hope Uzodimma, does not have respect for my late mom, when I'm still mourning my mom, when I'm still going through the burial rites, at least you have respect for the Church of Christ, for the altar of God. This man, on the directive of the governor through the chief principal security officer, came right inside church, dragged me out, shot, tore my clothes, dragged me like a common criminal, and threw me inside a waiting van. My problem is not the modus operandi, but my problem is that all this happened without police invitation or search warrant. These men came with their face hooded, covered, almost 20 of them, entered inside church.
You've actually been kidnapped.
And then took me. I was kidnapped. It was not arrest. I was kidnapped because when you look at the viral video that went on, thank God for my media guy, and thank God that none of these church members was killed. If the parish priest has to run away, all the women, all my guests that came from Abuja and Lagos had to run away from the church. And the issue is that these men came from the government house. They are not from police state command. They are security officers and security operative attached to Governor Hope Uzodimma, who sent these men to do this to me. It is not about police now. It's about those security men that is in his government house that came to do this to me. And they came and did this. My problem is that I have gone to several TV stations and I accepted to come here because until justice is served, before we can now know that all other things that is currently happening in Imo State, we don't have a problem with Hope Uzodimma. We don't have a problem with him. Owele Rocha, my in-law, is somebody that loves peace. And if you remember very well, I have never come on television to accuse or to say any bad thing against the government of the state, because we're all APC. But what happened is about life. What happened is what we consider a show of if I will call it desecration of the Church of God. He talked about the security situation in Imo State, that I and Owele Rocha, my father-in-law, have been accused of people forming the security situation, insecurity in Imo State. Let me shock you that those boys that went on viral this thing on the social media, they have confessed that they were brought in from Asaba to Rockview Hotel, opposite Government House, and this chief principal security officer to Hope Uzodimma videoed them and told them to mention my name. He's there in the police headquarters. Everything is open, and asked them to mention my name. My name, the name of Owele Rocha, and the name of one Honorable Kinsiluju, in order to indict us. That is not governance. You see, a lot of people are dying in Imo State. We should talk about how to secure the state and not using security apparatus to fight people you look as your political enemies. We are the same APC. I don't see the reason why the government of the state
2023 is very close.
Send security
is this in any way your arrest? Is this in any way close to the politics of 2023 in Imo State?
You should ask the governor, Hope Uzodimma. For me, 2023 is still far next year. So why should somebody come to humiliate me? And the worst is that they took my picture and asked me to remove my shirt, and even my shirt that was torn, they removed it, asked me to bring my hand inside the vehicle. This security operative from Government House, Imo State, handcuffed me and snapped my picture and sent it to that chief principal security officer to Governor Hope Uzodimma. And they sent it on social media. It's a humiliation. This is something that we should not allow to happen. And I'm happy with the IG, because until they find out the root cause of what happened in that church, all these killings and every other thing that is happening in Imo State will stop. What happened to me is because I'm Uche Nwosu. What if this happened to somebody who does not have anybody to speak for him on the street? Then
Before
what
you
will happen?
before you came on board, before you came on, we're talking about the security situation in Imo State. It's like a consensus that in the south, in the entire southeast now, the source of concern and source of worry is that Imo State. We've never had it this bad, and we feel that the governor has been saying that, look, beyond ESN, beyond every other factor, that most of this thing, most of the insecurity is being sponsored by his political enemies. He's always insinuating that. And I feel as stakeholders in Imo State, you guys should be concerned about the level of insecurity in Imo State. I'm sure it's going to even affect the number of people that actually went home for the Utah celebration.
You know, when you talk about insecurity in the state, you know, Owele Rocha was the governor for 8 years, and I was the chief of staff for 4 years. And it was easy. It was easy. You don't cause insecurity and tag your political opponent there because of the insecurity. If you know me very well, I've lived my life as a very gentleman. Owele Rocha, my father-in-law, has lived his life as a peacemaker across the country. He was the governor for 8 years. All this never happened. The thing is that, you know, I heard you say in the studio that the governor needs to tell himself the truth. Stop mentioning politicians, or stop mentioning Uche Nwosu or Owele Rocha. We are not the cause of your problem. Your problem is that you have refused to understand that.
Is your father-in-law doing anything to undermine his administration as the executive governor of Imo State? As in,
how?
After he left, he's a senator now.
How?
Yes, but has he been doing?
How? Owele Rocha has been away for almost a year plus. He has not been to Imo State. Let him tell us why Owele Rocha has has undermined his administration. You remember what still Chief Hope Uzodimma did to Owele Rocha at a Royal Spring Palm, and one of my co-in-law was shot. This young man cannot walk freely again because of this same chief security officer to governor who shot this guy on the leg, and they shot this guy. The same people came to church again to abduct me. If not that, what social media, the power of social media, it would have been a case of Uche Nwosu is nowhere to be found. So we don't have any problem with Hope Uzodimma. Rather, Hope Uzodimma is the person that is looking for our problem. So when you talk about the insecurity and Owele Rocha looking for his problem, it's not true. It is not true. The killings in Imo State is not what people should accept to happen.
I saw a photograph of you and Meka, the former governor, you know, some days before this incident happened, and something jumped into my mind that there might be some adverse reaction. Do you think that meeting could have sparked off your abduction from the church? And then secondly, there are these accusations that your in-law messed up Imo State, so to speak, and he doesn't want to allow Governor Hope Uzodimma to rebuild Imo State. How do you respond to this?
Okay, you know, the former governor of Imo State, Chief Emeka Ihedioha, came for my mother's burial. You know, when you talk about burial, politics aside, do you know that I also invited the governor of Imo State? I wrote him. Among all the five Southeast governor, is only the governor that refused to reply or even refused to write a condolence. And he directed that none of his appointees should come for my mother's burial. Even the house members that came, they were suspended. 3 house members that came for my mother's burial, they were suspended because they came for my mother's burial. Hope Emeka Ihedioha came because he values that when you have somebody that is mourning, who lost somebody, politics aside, we cannot do politics with dead body. And this young man came, and he was there, and to show you who Rochas is, Rochas danced with him, and this is the man Rochas. He forgot Emeka, all what Emeka did to him, and he danced with him, and Emeka left. And again, one other question you just asked was that making Imo State ungovernable for Governor Hope Uzodimma, I don't think it's true. If you know Imo State very well, go and ask down there in Imo State. Go to the street and ask them about Uche Nwosu, about Owele Rocha. Owele Rocha is one man that can even see a pin on somebody's body. I have never in my life done anything to remove blood from anybody's body. So when the issue of these Uche Nwosu is not true. They are all
Mr. Nwosu,
because we are all APC and we also.
What is next? Now that all this has been done and in the public space, what next? Are you going to go to court to clear your name? Are you going to ensure that such a thing does not happen to any more light again, ever? Are you just going to complain and let it go? What's the next step for you?
That's why I'm speaking out, because it is me, Uche Nwosu, former Chief of Staff and former Commissioner for Land. What of if it is not me? I'm happy the IG of police is doing a wonderful work. I also want to draw the attention of the leader of our party, who is the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. I'm of the APC. Owela Rocha Sokorocha of his APC. Hope Uzodimma is of APC. At this point, I beg on Mr. President to look into what is happening in Imo State. It has gone out of his politics. This is not politics. If this can happen to me inside church when I'm mourning my mom, then what happened to ordinary citizens who do not have anybody to speak for them? For me, I'll wait for the IG because I believe in him. I believe that the IG never directed or sent those people that came to church to discredit the house of God. So once the IG finishes his report, then we'll take it there. But I believe the IG or police will do a wonderful job.
Yeah, there is this belief that you are a grassroots mobilizer, that you are very popular with the youth. That's why there have been accusations that you have a hand. You know, you are being accused. It's been alleged that you have a hand in the insecurity in Imo State, that you are very popular with the youth. How do you react to that? Because that is, that keeps popping up everywhere. They keep saying it's your boys here and there, it's your boys, your mobilizers, who are out there causing problems.
You know, when I hear some of these stories that I am very popular with the young people, with the youths in Imo State, it is not my making. My few time in government, I used my office very well, and I used it to empower thousands of youths in Imo State. And that I empowered thousands of youths and brought them out of streets and made them somebody in the society. How does that relate to me causing trouble with the Imo youths? Imo youth knows where they belong to, and they know who is there for their own betterment. It's not the issue of Uche Nwosu. You have a lot of grassroots support. Yes, I have a lot of grassroots support, but I did this based that I want to help these young people grow up and then be something in the society. You can't be in government and you talk about yourself alone. If you
thank you.
You cannot walk on the streets of Owerri, that means you are staying in government is meaningless to the society. So for me, I will continue to help the young people in Imo State. I will continue to empower the young people in Imo State, and I will continue to empower the young people in Nigeria. That is my calling, and I will not stop doing that because of me saying that you empower the youths, because you empower them. They are the people causing trouble in Imo State. They are not the cause of Nigeria.
Please, Uche Nwosu,
so the Imo youths are peaceful.
This is like a season film. I'm sure 2022 will unravel so many things, and when Prince Uche Nwosu will declare his intention to run for that governorship seat, we unravel so many things before we get to the 2023 election. But this is not the end of it all. We promise to keep our viewers updated about developments in Imo State. I want to thank you, Prince Uche Nwosu, for your contribution on Journalist Hangout today.